Hello there my lovelies, welcome to Erica's Magical Projects. This month I've been trying to perform the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram every day, no matter where I am. And today I'm here at a very sacred place. There's a massive standing stone there, can you see? And a lovely processional way. So here I am, performing some magic at a very magical place. Let's see what happens. I'm astounded by these stones, not just because of their incredible and improbable construction, but because they give us a direct link to the past. It has stood here, it has weathered, it has seen so much. On this landscape that's changed so little. Great ancient watcher of the time. Great ancient monument. Put here by humans, but then it becomes something else completely. Apparently, when you perform the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram every day, you start to be able to perceive other energy levels. You start to be able to hear the vibrations of the universe. Maybe even pick up on something that might be emanating in places like this. Even if you don't believe in magic, you've got to agree there's something quite amazing about these stones. There's about 10, 15 mounds, burial mounds around. This is a very ancient landscape. There are lines of standing stones, huge lines of them crossing the landscape, joining up the burial mounds. Everywhere you look there's a sacred stone. Wild ponies, not another person around. As I was vibrating the names of God to activate the pentagrams and the calling them the angels, I was standing against this standing stone and I could feel the weight of it behind my back, and the sounds I was making were vibrating through the stone, and I swear I felt tingles running up and down my spine. I could very clearly feel the energy of the angels. I don't know how to describe that in layman's terms, but I was very clear in my mind what each one of the elements meant to me and what it meant to me as a living creature. It was amazing. I feel very powerful and charged by doing that ritual at this stone. But also I've got a very deep sense of the people who are buried here. I feel this was somewhere very important and very quiet. This is a place where the dead were laid to rest. And I feel that I'm visiting a cemetery and paying my respects, even though the coffins are long empty, the barrows have long been excavated. But there's so many people here still, I feel, in these empty hills. I feel that this was somebody's home. I can feel that this was somebody's land, somebody's home. This used to be a village. This used to be... For some reason I can feel completely right in my jumper. Like, I'm wearing my handspun jumper up here. It's exactly the right temperature, exactly the right thing to wear when you're visiting the moors, when you're visiting standing stones. I feel right. I feel for the first time in my life that I'm wearing the right clothes, you know, something handspun. Well, it's now the end of April and I've managed to do this ritual every day for most of the days in April, and I can tell you that I am a completely different person at the end of this month to the one at the beginning. I've been struggling a little bit, as I knew I would do this month. At the beginning of the month I was I had a lot of fear and a lot of trepidation about the things that I was embarking on. And now at the end of the month, I feel very brave. None of the things in my life have changed. I just feel braver and more able to deal with them, more able to approach them. Now, this could be the ritual that I've been doing every day, or it could be the fact that I had a nice big long holiday in the middle of April. Either way, I feel much better at the end of April than I did at the beginning. A couple of strange things have happened. First of all, the synchronicity in my life has definitely increased. Now, whether it's because I've just noticed a lot of synchronicity or whether it really has increased, I'm not sure. But there is definitely a great deal of synchronicity around me. There are two kinds of synchronicity I've found. The first one is that you can be engaging in the world in a certain way, looking up a subject, and then you put the television on and there's a programme about the subject, or you come across a book that reflects something that you've been recently looking up. So there's the small synchronicities. So then, of course, there are the larger synchronicities. I had a couple of those. I planned an event, lots of people were going to come and see me, and unfortunately they cancelled, and I was a little bit sad. But on the actual day, I was struck down by an illness. I was actually very ill, so it would have been cancelled anyway. There was a couple of those where I thought, oh, it looked like it was going to be something bad, and then it all worked out for the best. It worked out in my favour. Synchronicity that has definitely increased when using this ritual is I find I'm more in sync with my home. When I'm missing something, I ask the house to give it to me, to reveal it to me, to tell me where that object is, and almost immediately I find it. Now, of course, these are all brain games we're playing with ourselves, surely placebo, whatever you call it. It was a very big synchronicity in that I discovered a Kate Bush video, which is actually about this ritual. I love Kate Bush. I thought I knew all her music. There was one album I haven't really listened to for some reason, and I haven't listened to this album since it came out, which is quite a long time. It's The Red Shoes, and on The Red Shoes there's a song called Lily that talks about the ritual, and in it she is calling her four angels. She actually has Gabrielle and Raphael the other way round. I'm not sure why that is. This week, on the month that I've been studying this ritual, and then suddenly I find that Kate Bush has got a song all about it. I am blown away by that. You start with the Kabbalistic cross, calling into yourself the energy of the deity that provides our life force to us and to who we all return to. So first of all, you bring the deity down into yourself so that you are God. But of course you are God, you are the goddess. I am the goddess. And like the moon reflected in a bucket of water, I am the bucket of water and the moon is the deity, and my consciousness reflects the light of the deity's light. So the first part of the ritual is that you bring that into yourself so that you are full of the deity's power. Then you go around the circle, standing at each quarter, and call in the element, and then you draw a invoking pentagram. And then you fill it with blue light, and then you go round to each part of the circle, creating that pentagram and filling it with blue light, imagining a thick line of fire all around you, protecting you. This is part of the ritual that I think I'm going to alter because of the names of God that you call: Jehovah, Adonai, Ehyeh, and Agala at the end. I am not sure that I want to tap into the energy of those particular words. They're Hebrew words and have been used for a long time, associated with a patriarchal god. However, this ritual is older than that particular religion. It goes right back to Sumeria, and the angels themselves are much, much older. The ideas of these angels are much, much older than that religion. And so I think for myself, I'm going to look to find some different power words to activate my pentagrams, ones that are based on a pagan mythology, or I might even use the words of the elements themselves, as they're very powerful words in and of themselves. Fire, air, earth, water, those for me invoke the elements much more than the Hebrew names. Then in the third part of the ritual, you call the names of the angels, and you call the angels into their quarter, and you ask for their help in protecting that side of you. And there is Raphael before me, Gabriel behind me, Michael to my right, and Uriel to my left. And then one envisages those angels with their representative colours and tools and garbs, and visualise those angels as hard as you can.
Again, this was something that I originally found quite difficult because the images of angels tend to be from a Hebrew or Christian background with the wings and usually male. And I had a very deep insight. The angels are actually part of your energy and then also part of the energy that other people have put into them. Does that make sense? That makes sense to me. I think I can kind of understand how this ritual is working. There is another place where all of this energy kind of exists, maybe call it a parallel universe that's overlaid onto ours, or maybe like a fish isn't really aware of the world above the water, we are not really aware of the world above our little thing that we're trapped in. So in this place, energy has been put there to do with these angels by people through history. And when you are calling on these angels, you are calling on the energy that other people have put into these entities, but also into that part of yourself. Remember the image of the moon reflected in the bucket of water, then that is within me. Those elemental parts are within me, of course they are. And when I tried to separate those four elements into a very clear image of each one of them around me, I suddenly very, very strongly felt presences, the presence of the angels. They were there. I felt them as strongly as if I was a room full of people, and they were me. They looked like me. They had golden hair and they were of my body, and they were vibrations inside of me, but they were also echoes of things outside of myself. And then I knew the angels were real, that I was doing something to my brain, that I'm doing something real to my brain. Now, if you are a skeptic, of course, call it a placebo, and I am perfectly happy for all of this to have been one giant placebo, because I know that the power of placebo is great and I do not underestimate it. However, this is particularly powerful for me. This has opened up realms. I am seeing the energy, I'm feeling the energy, I feel better, I am better. 30 days of doing the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, I can report something is happening. I'm not sure what that is. So to conclude, I shall be adding this ritual to my daily practices, and I shall be finding ways of tweaking it to make it a little bit more personal to me, because I'm starting to understand what it is actually doing, what it is achieving. I am loath to change it because I do understand that by doing it the right way, you get to understand and to experience the effects of it. And now it's nearly summer. I'm a few days away from Beltane, that's May the 1st, and my plan is to go out and sit in the sunshine and to absorb all the glorious Beltane goodness. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. I shall be back next week, and don't forget that everything handmade is magical.